Deloys ape. Deloys ape, given the proposed scientific name Meranthropoides loci and Ateles loci, is an alleged large primate reported by Swiss geological explorer Francis Deloys in South America. The only evidence for the animal, besides Deloys' testimony, is one photograph. It was promoted by George Mantedon as a previously unknown species, but is now usually considered a misidentification of a spider monkey species or outright called a hoax. Francis Deloys, a Swiss oil geologist, led an expedition from 1917 to 1920 to search for petroleum in an area along the border between Colombia and Venezuela, primarily near Lake Maracaibo. The expedition was unsuccessful and furthermore suffered greatly due to disease and skirmishes with the natives. Of the 20 members of Deloys' group, only 4 survived. According to Deloys' later reports in 1920, while camped near Tora River, 2 large creatures approached the group. Initially, Deloys thought they were bears, but then noted that they were monkey-like, holding onto shrubs and branches. The creatures, one male and one female, seemed angry, howling and gesturing, then defecating into their hands and flinging feces at the expedition. Fearing for their safety, the expedition shot and killed the female, and the male fled. Deloys and his companions recognized that they had encountered something unusual. The animals resembled a spider monkey, but was much larger, about 1.57 meters tall, compared to the largest spider monkeys, which are just over a meter tall. Deloys counted 32 teeth. Most New World monkeys have 36 teeth, and noted that the creature had no tail. They posed the creature by seating it on a crate and propping a stick under its chin. After taking a single photograph, Deloys reported they skinned the creature, intending to keep its hide and skull. Both items were later abandoned by the troubled expedition. According to other reports, the photographs were taken but were lost either in a flood or during the capsizing of the scientist's boat. After Deloys returned to Europe, he kept the story of the unidentified ape to himself until 1929. That year, his friend, the anthropologist George Mantedon, was pursuing Deloys' files, seeking information about South American native tribes. Mantedon discovered the photograph and thought it to be very important. Deloys finally related the account in the Illustrated London News of June 15, 1929, and the 3 scientists' articles regarding the creatures were published in French journals. Mantedon suggested a scientific name for the creature, Meranthropoides loci. After this publicity, Deloys' accounts was deemed unreliable by several critics, notably Sir Arthur Keith, a prominent anthropologist. Keith suggested that Deloys was trying to pass off a normal spider monkey as something more exotic. The photograph did not clearly indicate the creature's size, and Keith also noted that by not photographing the creature's posterior, Deloys had left open the question of whether it had a tail at all. Keith suggested the animal in the photo was a spider monkey, perhaps a black spider monkey, which had been manipulated to appear different. Countering Mantedon, Keith suggested the scientific name Ateles loci. Most later writers have agreed that the creature in the photograph is a spider monkey. Others, such as the cryptozoologist researcher Ivan T. Sanderson, disagrees with Keith about the species, suggesting the white-bellied spider monkey to be more similar in appearance and shape. Sanderson further noted that the particular area in which Deloys allegedly encountered the ape had no history of reports of oversized primates. He regarded the identification as an unknown ape as an outright hoax, and an obnoxious one at that, being a deliberate deception. Other researchers, such as cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman and Michael Rayner, also supported the theory that the creature is a hoax based on the photograph of a spider monkey and argued that Mastodon was the perpetrator. Mastodon used the Emeranthropoidus loci to support his view that the human race had independently evolved from different primates found in the region. He had previously argued that the white race was evolved from earlier Homo sapiens, while Africans evolved from gorillas, and Asians from orangutans. He proposed the Emeranthropoidus loci was a missing link ancestor of the indigenous people of the Americas. Hopefully we all understand that entire theory is insane. So anything he said, I've always sensed and taken as a grain of salt. That was a rather ignorant concept, and I don't know what else he happened to believe. Since then, research has come to light, noted on Coleman's blog, suggesting that the stump of banana tree can be seen at the right side of the entire photograph. Bananas are not indigenous to South America, making their occurrence in the remote jungles highly implausible, thus making it probable that the photo was not shot at the location Deloys indicated. This argument and other findings, which strongly indicated a hoax, largely the result of the Spanish language work by Venezuelan scientists Bernardo Urbani and Angel Villoria, were essentially unknown to cryptozoologists, researchers prior to the summer of 2007. In 2009, Urbani and Villoria translated and published their findings in English. Of those who believe Deloys' encounter as an unknown species, some suggest it was surviving Protopithecus brasiliensis, a large spider monkey of the Pleistocene era, or connected to the legend of the Mono Grande, recorded in the area in the late 20th century. Could it have been a large spider monkey, or had lost its tail? Maybe in an almost failed escape from some predator, years before it ever encountered this party. Maybe when it was young, and the tail had grown over. And again, comment as to Loren Coleman. His statements alone negate any scientific value to any of his cries of a hoax. Whatever happened to someone just being wrong? Suddenly, it seems to go right to a hoax, as an overreaction to their believing they were ever maybe fooled by it. I do not believe he discovered a new species. If he did, it was the last of them. But I do believe he had believed it, even if it took him years of thinking about it to get there. So to yell criminal as a hoax just for a mistake is why science is crawling instead of soaring as it should.